All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Little Giants talk tonight. We'll be joined by a very special guest shortly. And we'll bring him in here as we get this show on the road. A little music here. Let me get the sponsor here. Brought to you by Chapman Law Group, everybody. Chapman Law Group. Any legal needs you have. Maybe you need a personal injury lawyer. Maybe it's just paperwork you need to deal with. Give Chapman Law Group a call. 415-613-9483 and let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, let me get this down there and take that off there for Chapman. Where are we? There we go, I think. I don't know what I'm doing here. There we go. No, it's Open Blind Friday. What the heck am I doing here? I'm all screwed up. See what happens? Let me, hold on here. Where'd that go? Where'd Chapman Law? There it is. All right. Oh, there it is. All right. I'm bringing in the guy who used to run this board flawlessly when I couldn't figure out what the hell I was doing. Here he is. Eric Romo.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
All right.
What is going on? I see you're in rare form.
I'm in rare form, man. Oh, let me get this music.
Man.
Let me get this music off.
Crank it up, baby. There you go.
There we go.
What's
Now
up,
let's let it play out. We'll let it play out tonight.
What's up, man? It's got that 80s feel. 80s feel, absolutely.
Bring back the giant 80s of the Giants. How about let's the 80s, the 87 and 89. All right. Dan on drugs tonight. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's Eric. Yeah, it is Eric. Yeah, Eric's taking the night off over at Giants.
Yeah, taking the night off. Man,
Let me kill that band here.
There's nothing else to talk about, man. Nothing else to talk about.
I know.
Exhausted everything.
I almost took the night off too, and I was just like, what the heck? But this will be a quick one, guys, tonight. No longer than an hour. We've heard that before, right? We've heard that one before.
Yeah. Steven Ortega, the Giants are not better than the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Sorry, man. It's just, no.
Yeah.
No, sir.
So,
no, sir.
Tonight, I thought, nothing happening. When you're doing this content stuff, you're grasping at straws a lot of times. You know that, Eric. We're just trying to figure out what the heck can we talk about. The offseason is dead. The Giants have done nothing but sign Willy Adames back in early December and then waited over a month to sign Justin Verlander. And then yesterday we got the big news of Jake Lamb. I mean, hey, there we go. But tonight, what we're going to talk about is some possible trades the Giants can make. And you know what? Got an idea on some trades that are not even on the thumbnail. On the thumbnail is Luis Robert. Who else was on there? Alcantara and
Arias.
Okay. Yeah. All three of those guys would help the Giants immensely. I mean, think about Arias. He could play first base. He could DH. You have neither position locked up at all. Yeah. I mean, it's an improvement. So you could go that route. You could go Alcantara, which gives you a real ace, and then Logan Webb can slot into the 2 spot, which gives him a better chance against when he faces other pitchers. And the third one was Luis Robert Jr., which is a risk because he's injury prone. But you know what? At this point, the Giants. Hold on one sec. What's that?
Yeah.
I left the garage door open. That's great. For how long? 2 hours? Wonderful. Is everything still there?
Oh, dude.
It's trash night. It's trash day tomorrow. So I opened the garage because I have boxes in there. And so I threw the boxes in the
What's up, James?
Threw the boxes in the recycle, and then went through the back gate and locked that so that the gate's locked, and I forgot to go around and shut the garage.
Close the door.
So it's only been a few hours. Hey, it's all right. It's a safe neighborhood.
Well, there you go. Oh, man.
All right. So anyway, there's some trades, guys, but I have some other ideas. And you guys all know I'm the guy that has brought up, and I know seniors brought it up too, about Logan Webb. And wait, before Logan gets upset, let me hold on.
What's up, Liam?
Okay. I got my Logan Webb hat.
So you got your Logan Webb hat. Okay. All
okay,
right.
Logan. Nothing personal, dude. It's just you're the only asset that will bring back something of value. So,
oh my gosh.
And we don't think the team's going to be competitive for a few years. At least I don't. I don't see a end to this until you get stars. And here's what I am proposing. I am proposing that the Giants make a trade for the number 4 prospect in all of baseball. And his name is Walker Jenkins with the Minnesota Twins. All right. Here's the trade value. And you might have to give up a little bit more. Walker Jenkins is a 64.7. The 70.9 for Webb. All right. So, I mean, it works. The Twins need pitching. They don't have, who's the Twins?
Jorge Lopez.
And they got
the
okay. So they missed out last year. They had a lock on one of the wild cards and they faded and they let Kansas City and Detroit pass them. Well, Kansas City was there, but Detroit passed them.
Yeah, Detroit did pass them. Yeah.
So here's my thinking when it comes to a trade like this, guys. The Giants have Bryce Eldridge coming up, and he will probably arrive sometime next year. Probably will start the year in AAA, stay there for half the year, maybe all the way until August, so they don't screw up his rookie status. Now, check this plan out. You trade Dan, enough Logan Webb trade. We have a legitimate starter with no one to take his place. Twins are not taking payroll. They are trying to trade Lopez. All right. Not the greatest idea. Well, George, you just rained on my parade. Now I'm come on, George.
All right, George.
Hear me out, guys. I'm trying to tell you how the Giants can actually turn this thing around. And this is what it is. You got Eldridge, who's 20 years old. Okay. And this kid that I'm talking about, Walker Jenkins, he is 20 years old and he's in AA, drafted in the same draft as Eldridge. He's 6'3". All right. My dog's going outside, Eric. This dog that
Bo,
who's got some issues, and I got to make sure he doesn't eat his droppings. So it's kind of gross. I got to go follow him.
All right,
close this.
I got
Take over. I'll be right.
All right, I got it, man. Hey guys, it's good to see everybody. Dan will be back with us here shortly. But yeah, this is going to be interesting talking about trades. Me personally, for those of you who've heard me on Giant Sports Talk Live, I don't see a trade happening. But it's good to talk about it. It's nice to say, hey, what guys could the Giants possibly trade for what player? There's nothing wrong with going down that road, undertaking that exercise, so to speak. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. Go. Hey, man. Ryan, I got this, man. I got this. What's up, Ryan? I hope you're having a good night, dude. What's up, Graham? Oh, man, that's good. I know what you're talking about. That was a fun night there on Military History Chronicles. But anyways, as I digress. I really thought that the Giants, they got 2 free agents. One of the free agents was not very spectacular. As far as Verlander, I'm not happy about the Verlander. I think they should have got a different pitcher. They should have got Corbin Burns. And I'm going to still say it. I think they missed. The Giants were 100% in on him. You don't. Hey, what's up, Will? What's up? All is bueno. Thank you, sir. That's good. That's good news. Don't tell me that the Giants had Willie Adames and Logan Webb out there talking about Corbin Burns, and that wasn't part of the plan, because it was part of the plan, and the Giants missed, period. But I also thought they were going to get a trade. I honestly, I thought, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and get a trade done specifically for a bat. Now we're almost having to trade for a pitcher or a bat. I think the Giants still need a bat to play, again, to lengthen that lineup. Willie Adames, yes, he's going to be good. Willie Adames is going to be good. Chapman will be good. He'll have his moments, unless maybe he fixes his approach at the plate when runners are in scoring position. Maybe we'll see. He needs to. Maybe the club takes a different direction as far as the philosophy in their approach at the plate. Because there's other ways to score rather than trying to knock it over the fence. I've said this a million times. Again, for those of you who don't listen to me on Giant Sports Talk Live, baseball is a beautiful sport, right? And there's different ways you could score. So we'll see how that pans out. And he's back. Everything good?
So far.
Everything come out okay?
He hasn't let it loose, but man, the guy's just been nuts. I think he was on all these meds and everything, and now he's off of them, and so got him.
Gotcha.
Things are getting better, I think, but I can't take the chance.
What I was saying real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought there was going to be a trade. I thought the Giants could get 2 free agents, right? And then a trade, and I think you're cooking. And they haven't hit on a trade. One of the free agents, we all know, Verlander, that was that. And I was kind of explaining the whole Corbin Burns. Don't tell me the Giants weren't in on him. You don't have Logan Webb and Willie Adames going out there in the media talking about Corbin Burns and then say, oh, no, we weren't in on him. They're just covering their ass as far as that's concerned. But now, if they do want to trade, because I wanted a trade for a bat per se. Oh, is he good? Okay, gotcha.
Be right back.
All right. Oh my gosh, this is great. Graham, here, let me talk to you. I can't bring your guys' chat up. Dan does have a point. If you can't land bats in free agency, then the only way is via trade, and they'll have more controllable years. And to that point, Graham, you may be onto something. But again, I said this last night. Has an elite batter, free agent, have they ever said no to the Giants if the Giants had offered the most money? I'm just saying. Has any free agent, elite hitter, has ever said no to the Giants if they had given the biggest contract? I don't think so. Offer him some more money, and then maybe you can land that free agent. There is a possibility. I used it yesterday. There's examples. Aaron Judge, he may have wanted to be a Yankee the whole time, but you know what? All the Giants did is match. Bryce Harper, They offered him 300. Phillies offered him 330. Never exceeded the 330. Shohei Ohtani, if you believe the stories, was the same as the Dodgers. They did not exceed what the Dodgers were offering, and that was a lot of money. I get it. So until I hear a story that comes out that says the Giants have offered so-and-so player the most money, but they decided to go elsewhere. Until I hear that, then I'll be like, okay, well, yeah, maybe they just don't want to come to San Francisco. That makes sense to me. But that hasn't happened yet. On that point, if you have a free agent to overpay, if you want him badly, you will finish second or third. Well, you're just going to have to pay some money, man. Just going to have to pay. Eugenio Balcelas, what's up? I need trade. Padres are slipping. They might be. But as they're currently constructed, the Padres are still better than the Giants. That's just, again, on paper, guys. On paper, the Padres and the D-backs are better than the Giants. Now, when the games start playing, totally different situation. Totally different situation. Big Al at the start of the season, or at the start of offseason, Posey said they will be super aggressive in trades. I know, Big Al. I know. Turd, what happened? Big Al. I'm going to get to Turd. I know, man. I don't like to talk. If you know me, Al, if you're going to say something, you better freaking mean it. Especially if you're the president of baseball operations. What happens when the real Adames gets oracled and comes back down to earth and has 18 homers and 79? Yeah, that's a good point there, Turd. That there could be something to that. We're going to find out shortly. JB comes in. Adames kind of saying the same thing, Turd. Probably be mid for April and May. Period of adjustment. That makes sense. Who is actually pulling the trigger on the free agent contracts? Is it the GM or ownership? I think it's probably a little bit of both there, Graham. Sure, the GM probably would love to get it done, right? But if ownership says, well, then you're not going to get them. MF comes in with this classic line. Giants are a mess. Can the Giants get a wild card spot? I say right now they're on the outside looking in. Again, on paper only. MF, no games have began yet, so I can't sit there and say whether or not they are. All good? Oh, you're muted. Oh, no.
No comment. No comment.
Hey.
There's the culprit right there.
Oh, he's got the e-collar on. Oh, man. Yeah. The cone of shame, man.
Yeah, the cone of shame. What was worse is having dog shit all over the cone because he's going. Yeah. Oh, man. Cute dog. I draw the line somewhere, man. I even bought these little treats that are supposed to be like anti-eat your dog crap stuff or whatever. It's
anti-eat your dog crap.
Whatever.
What's up, Johnny?
All right. So Giants in the trade area. I don't know. Here's what I think they haven't made a trade, Eric. I don't think they're willing to give up their top prospects. And there's not a lot left once you get below the top 7 or 8 players in the organization. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. If you just look at the Giants right here, let me pull this up here for you guys. And just look at the values that the Giants have. There they are. Logan Webb, 70.9. And then Eldridge. No way you're getting rid of Eldridge. And then you're not getting rid of Adames. You just signed him. Bailey
with a no trade. And he's got a no trade clause.
Right. Harrison, maybe. Ramos is, I think you got to keep him. And then Fitzgerald, I mean, he's a guy that might be traded if you got a really young stud. And then Walker raised his value. I mean, look at Duvall dropped to 8.7. He was in the 30s last year, 40s.
Yeah.
And then he just dropped. Now some of these guys can get it back, but look at Tibbs, number 1 draft pick, 9.1. And then you look at a guy like Walker
Martin.
Not Martin, but the guy I was talking about with Jenkins.
Oh, with the Twins.
64. Now, if you read what I read, guys, I just want to show you guys what I'm talking about, what I think the Giants should really consider looking at. Think about this. You go after one of these left-handed hitters like Walker Jenkins or Max Clark. Max Clark with the Tigers is the 6th ranked prospect. He was the 3rd overall pick in the Eldridge draft. It was Paul Skeens. I mean, that was an incredible draft. It was Paul Skeens, Dylan Cruz of the Nationals, Max Clark, Wyatt Langford, and then Walker Jenkins.
Wow.
Okay. And so all these guys are expected to be really good, like probably all-stars in their career. Now, what I think the Giants should consider, hear me out, guys. Not going to happen, most likely. None of the stuff that I propose will happen, but I'm going to propose it anyway. Why do you want to bring up Bryce Eldridge and have him play in this monster park? What happens if you brought the fences in for the 26th season and you made it like typical ballpark, like Dodger Stadium, like Citizens Bank Ballpark, like Cincinnati, like every other ballpark? Dodger Stadium's $385 to the power alleys, $395 to center. Giants, $415. If you brought those into realistic, like $385, that's 30 feet. What happens if Eldridge in his rookie year hits 40 homers, wins Rookie of the Year, and you get another draft pick?
You get another draft pick. Yeah.
And now you got a top draft pick. You got 2 picks. Now, and then if you traded a guy like Webb and got a Walker Jenkins or a Max Clark, who's a left-handed hitters with power, now you got 2 20-year-olds you're growing up with. And the Giants have, and now you got 2 guys that can hit 30, 40 home runs a year because you're playing in a ballpark that's conducive to it. Now you can get free agents to come because it's like, dang, if I'm Bryce Harper and this is 2019, I'm like, shoot, my stats aren't going to be hurt at all in that ballpark.
Right.
385. Now you get some of the better players. You make it a destination place and you make it exciting. I think Oracle Park can be an advantage for free agents if it becomes a hitter's park. Here's why. When you're playing in the summer months back in Chicago and New York and Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, when it's 100 freaking degrees and the humidity's like, let's say it's 92 degrees with 100% humidity almost, it is miserable and it wears you down. Remember the Texas Rangers when they used to play outdoors?
Yes.
And they would always be good the first half and then they would fade because it just got so wiped out by the heat. Then they got the dome and obviously they won a championship. But I think if Oracle, you got some day games, it'd be nice weather, but your night games are in the 60s, right? Pretty much in the summer months. And if the fences aren't that bad, it's not going to be a detriment to be playing there. And if you have a couple of guys in their 20s, I mean, this kid that I'm talking about, Walker Jenkins, he's 6'3", and he's ranked under Keith Law's top 20. And this just came out yesterday, by the way, guys.
It came out, right, yeah.
Yeah. He's ranked, he's compared some comparisons to Larry Walker since high school. A lot of people think it's because it's his name, Walker, but but he's advanced quickly. He's very athletic. He doesn't strike out a ton, 17.5%, which is pretty good for a power hitter.
That's good. Yeah.
The feel to hit as a 19-year-old who's already reached AA is part of what makes him so exciting as a prospect. He already can hit, and there's size and strength here for plus power as he continues to grow and develop. He's mostly played center in the minors, but they think he'll be a right fielder. So I just think if you had 2 20-year-olds coming up through the system, my thing with Logan Webb, you got Adames, and you got Chapman, and you're sitting there with Pete Alonso and Alex Bregman out there, and you're not even going after him.
I don't get it, Dan. It makes no sense, right? You said you go get. Look, I understand it's a spring training invite. It's only $1 million. But that's not the point. The guy sucks. Why would you even want to go after him? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to even go after him. I'd rather have Casey Schmidt or freaking somebody or give a chance to Luciano at first base or something. I'd rather see that than go sign Jake Lamb. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. It's really hard to understand. You could give that invitee to somebody else that at least they're not going to make the team, but give the invitee to somebody that you can take a look at and give them a chance to face some pitching to get, just to get some at bats. But I just think the guys that there's guys out there besides this Walker Jenkins. If you don't like him, how about Max Clark right here? The guy was the third pick in a loaded 23 draft. He was picked just ahead of Wyatt Langford. But he may be the guy for the future. True center fielder. He doesn't strike out, but he struck out only 8.1% of the time in low A. That's pretty good. So he was a high schooler. This guy's probably going to be in the big leagues at 22. And I just think the Giants need guys that are young. And here's my thing with Webb. Nothing against Webb. I love the guy. I just don't think by the time the Giants start to put it together, that Webb is going to be on the back end of that contract. He's got 4 more years, and I get it. They're friendly years. That's why his value is so good. Not only because he's a really great, really strong pitcher, but he's got a great contract. So that teams would love that. And a team that's willing to, you might do this at the trade deadline. You're not going to do it now, obviously.
Right.
But a team that is close, let's say the Tigers are close and they just need pitching, but they don't want to give up their top prospect for a rental. Well, you get Logan Webb for 3.5 years.
You get 3. Right.
And that's what I think the Giants need to consider this year. They need to consider if they're not in it, and they can get somebody really young who's a top, prospect. Heck, I throw the kitchen sink for guys like that. Go ahead and give them Webb and Duvall if that's what it takes. Because the Giants need to build this thing from the bottom up. If they're not going to go for it now. I'm not saying, Eric, I've said this for over 1.5 years. Pick a lane. Either go in the fast lane and go for it, or just move over to the slow lane, rebuild. But the middle of the lane is the worst place to be in sports because you finish around 500 and you don't get a great draft pick. And so you're like, dang. I mean, you may have lucked out with Eldridge. It looks like at 19 where they drafted Eldridge, that could be a steal. But that's rare. That was a really good draft.
It was.
See where things go, where they go. But I just don't think they should just go middle of the road. Go for it. Alonso, I know a lot of people don't like Alonso, and you're not blocking Eldridge. Alonso can become your DH, okay?
Yes, correct.
But if you look at the home runs, guys, last year, just look at the home run leaders for last season. I'm going to pull them up for you right now. Team home runs. And let me pull that up. And you guys take a look and look at the teams that hit 200 home runs and how they fared. Okay, there you go. Yankees. Can you guys see it clear enough?
Yep.
Okay. Yankees, Orioles, Dodgers, Braves all made the playoffs. Diamondbacks won 89 and were eliminated on a tiebreaker. Mets made the playoffs. Phillies made the playoffs, too short.
Yep.
And then the A's, that's kind of a aberration, but there's some teams that didn't hit very many home runs that made the playoffs, like Detroit. The Royals. Royals hit 170, Detroit hit 162. But they also had
Pitching.
a few other things, pitching and timely hitting and defense.
Right.
Look at the Giants. They hit 177. So you're telling me the Giants, if they add Pete Alonso, you've already added Adames at short, so you've picked up at least a net 10 home runs there. Even if he hits 25, that's 10-plus home runs that the position created last year.
Right.
And now you have Fitzgerald move over to second. You probably pick up 5 to 10 homers there net gain over last year. If Fitzgerald hits 15 to 20, that's going to give you home runs. And then you bring Alonso in. He's going to get you 30 home runs at least. And that would give you plus 18 over Wade and Flores, who combined for 12 last year. So you're telling me plus 10 at short, plus 10 at second, that's 20 homers, and another 15 at first base. That's 35 homers on top of 177. That brings you to 312 or 212. 212. That's going to put you in the hunt to be a playoff team.
Yep.
Because the game has changed and it's now about home runs, unfortunately. So I don't understand the Giants thinking. They either go for it, Eric, or you got to rebuild it. You got to rebuild it. And to me, I personally would be thrilled if they went out and traded for a Walker Jenkins, a Max Clark, a Kobe Mayo type. Guys with power that are young. What I love about Clark and Jenkins is they're 20. Mayo's 24. I like guys that are high school guys that are going to make it. And I think those two guys, bring up one of those guys with Eldridge. Now you're cooking. Now you're cooking, because imagine having two 22-year-old guys that are like, not Juan Soto-ish, but they're guys that are gonna hit home runs.
They're gonna do something.
They're gonna do something, and you're gonna have them. You could have them for 10 years in their prime.
Right. Exactly. And to your point, when the Giants signed Willie Adames, got me pretty excited. I was like, okay, to your point, Dan, they're choosing a lane. You don't go out there and get Willie Adames and then just say, okay, that's it, man. You got to do something else. Missed on Corbin Burns, and then they get Verlander. Now you're starting to go, okay, what are you doing, Giants? Now you're not. And look, and the time between signing Willie Adames and Verlander was like, what, a month? Something, maybe even longer than that. And you're just like,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
What's going on? And like you said, now they're just kind of treading water. It's like, okay, well, hey, let's, and those stories that were coming out yesterday, Dan, just pissed me off. Oh, don't worry about what the Dodgers are doing.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here. We're getting our freaking heads kicked in, but don't worry about the damn Dodgers. Just watch what we're going to do. And Larry Baer saying they're going to win 92. Get out of here. Right now, as they're currently constructed, they're not winning 92 damn games. Just ain't happening. Look, when the games start getting played, look, something could happen, but on paper, I just don't see it. But I like your point, and this is what pisses me off about last year, or I should say the last trade deadline. You knew Blake Snell was not going to re-sign with the Giants. It was not going to happen. Just like we said the year before, or actually 2 years before, Carlos Rodon at the trade deadline, he's not going to re-sign with the damn Giants. Don't believe this whole, I love it here in San Francisco. They all say that. All the players say that, man. You got to do what's best for the team. And that's two times where Farhan could have got two really good guys.
Exactly.
We could be talking about a totally different club.
Did you say something about what was the guy's name you were talking about?
Which one?
On the Giants? The clown? Larry? Larry who?
Larry Baer. Yeah, Larry Baer.
Larry Baer. Yeah. There you go, Larry Baer.
I don't get it.
I don't get you, Larry. What are you talking about? I
don't understand it.
I've never heard an owner say, well, we're not going to we're just going to worry about ourselves. We're not worried. You don't even want to win that bad. I just can't stand the lip service when they say.
And Dan, this is the same man that during the season last year, during a freaking game broadcast, is talking about freaking Mission Rock. He's not talking about the baseball game. He's not talking about the product on the field. He's talking about the greatness that they're doing for the city of San Francisco with Mission Rock. And you know what's funny? I brought this up on a show not that long ago. The Chicago Cubs, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Boston Red Sox, they all have a lot of stuff going on that's baseball related outside the park. The Giants, they talk about this is supposed to be a better fan experience. No, it's not. And I said this. You know what's a better fan experience? Bring back Parking Lot A.
There you go.
Parking Lot A. That's the fan experience, because right now it's not. It's not.
Yeah, the Mets. Did you see what the Mets are starting to do? Thinking about doing an $8 billion project to make a fan experience, parks and hotels, and just beyond taking out their parking lot and making it a really nice, beautiful place. The Giants, it's not for the fans. It's a stinking bunch of
it's commercial property and condos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Senior, you are 100% right here. We can always get pitching. Young elite hitters under control is our kryptonite. They don't want to come here. Exactly. This is why, guys, I know the ballpark's beautiful, but it's already different from when they changed the pitching mounds or the bullpens to the outside. They took away some of the seats to make room for the bullpens. Now, what I would say is you can add seats back in if you actually shorten the fence and made it. Just think of the ballpark having a 7-foot fence with the deepest part of right center being 385, the deepest part of the ballpark being 399 just to the left of center field, 391 to straightaway center. Now the ballpark is lefties. It's and lefties don't have a problem coming here. Look, the ballpark doesn't, Juan Soto, guys like that, Bryce Harper,
Pete Alonso.
Yeah, Alonso would be fine because it's the left side's fine.
Correct.
It's the lefties that it kills people. And you know what I'm sick and tired of? The place was great when you opened it up because it had triples alley and people were hitting triples there because such a huge gap. Now everybody plays right center to almost center field. And there's not that many triples anymore. Go look at Matt Cain's perfect game. The catch by Blanco. He was playing right field, but he caught it in center.
Yep.
It's like
he did
because he was
shading it. Yeah.
He's shading. So this is the way the park's designed. So you take away what it was really. I mean, the first few years, lots of triples, right? Mm-hmm. Remember, first 4 or 5 years, a lot of triples, and everybody started shading over. So if you make it symmetrical, where it's 385 to the deepest part of right center, now you're playing more traditional outfield positions, and you're going to have more home runs. You're going to have some great leaping, robbing catches out there. And I think the game is, with the Giants having Eldridge, he's 20. He's not 24, 25.
Right.
He's
young.
20.
Yeah.
You're going to have this kid for the best 10 years of, and then you sign him to a long-term like they did with Posey and buy out his arbitration year, and go trade for other left-handed hitters. I'm telling you, the Giants need to, and you know what? If they pass it by, what's going to end up happening, I believe, is they're going to be around this 500, maybe a few over as they get a little bit maybe they win 86, 87 games in a year or two, but they still miss the playoffs.
Right.
And then Webb ends up finishing out his contract. He's over 30. And what did you get out of it? You got nothing but, some good outings but you didn't get the benefit of The
You
payoff.
couldn't take advantage of his goodness to lead to anything because you're a 500 team.
Right. And I don't think they have the horses. If you look again at their farm system, they don't have anybody that stands out other than Eldridge.
That's it.
That's
it, man. That's it, man. Look at all the top 100s that have come out. How many do the Giants have? It's just Eldridge. There's no one else.
You've got to build this thing. David Yu says Eldridge will have 6 years of control. Yes, but
once
David, once he's in the big leagues, yes, but you can actually sign him and buy out some of his arbitration years and give him a 10-year deal like the Brewers did with Jackson Chourio last year, like the Braves did with Acuna and Albies and Riley. And look, there's ways to do this, but you've got to utilize, you know what the 49ers guys did? Bill Walsh was a master at this. You guys realize they won the Super Bowl in 94 without Jerry Rice, without Joe Montana, without Ronnie Lott, and without Roger Craig. Why? Because Bill Walsh moved off of them a year or two early while they had value and didn't have to pay them all this. And he got younger players. This is a young man's game. It really, truly is. I mean, the superstars, they're going to do fine in their mid 33, 34, 35, the superstars. But there's not that many of them that do that. You look at Freeman, he's doing well still. But watch when guys hit 34, 35, and they will start to decline. And you really want to get guys that are hitting all cylinders in their early 20s, and you have them through their 20s. Look at the Dodgers when we grew up. Ron Cey, Bill Russell, Davey Lopes, and Steve Garvey. They all grew up together, right? In their like 23, 24 years old. Boom. What are the Giants? How did they win? Lincecum, Kane, Mad Bum, Posey, Crawford, Belt, Panic, and Hunter
Sandoval.
And Sandoval. All guys that, and what happened to them when they got in their 30s, guys?
Kind of
They
stunk.
fizzled. Why do you think if Buster Posey, Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, and those guys fizzled, and Pablo, what makes you think Chapman's not going to fizzle when he hits 33, 34? He's 32 now.
I know.
He's got a couple years left, but you're going to have him for 4 after that. You probably got 2 years left of production of Chapman, if that.
Right. How about a 42-year-old? How about that one? How do you think that one's going to pan out? What do you think?
It's pitching's probably a little bit different than hitting.
It depends on the person too.
Yeah, and you might get something out of Verlander, but still, they have to decide what they're going to do.
Even Marty, when I went on his show, said, "You probably get 12 starts." He said it's something that you could say, "Hey, yeah, I went and watched a future Hall of Famer." That's kind of what he was saying. So,
yeah, oh, yes, Senior. If you could do that, if you could find a way, if Chapman would agree to go to a contender and you got some young.
After giving him an extension with a no trade, that's going to look, me and Senior have talked about this. It's going to look bad on Buster Posey. If he's willing to take that hit because to his credibility, because he was all about signing guys. I want them here for the long time. Here's your no trade. And then all of a sudden, a year into it, you go, how about you want to trade? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could backfire. It could backfire.
I'm just
you're trying to find a way to improve the team. I know.
I just want to see him win. I thought they were most exciting last year when Matos, Luciano, and Ramos were all playing. I think they went 9-1.
Yeah,
and that was the road. That was the road trip where Luciano
Pittsburgh road. Yep.
Made errors, and then they just basically said you're done.
Benched him. Yeah.
But they were winning, and he's young, and I get it. that he was struggling at shortstop, but that's a lot of it's on the Giants for putting him.
It is. They should have known he wasn't a shortstop long before they even brought him up to the big club.
Oh, wow. Aaron, look at this comment.
What's up, Aaron Lost?
Will be content staying with Melvin, even if it means being fourth place for the next 6 years. Yeah.
That's another discussion we could have depending on where the Giants, does Melvin come back next year? I mean, who knows?
Ooh.
That's going to be something we're going to have to wait until the season plays out, because he's only got guaranteed 1 year left, and that's it.
I just want to see them either hear me out,
rebuild or spend the money.
I want to see this team really get out of the gates in April and have above 500, and same in May, and in June they're cooking and they're 10 games over 500, and it looks like a really possibility that they have a wild card shot. Or I want to see the exact opposite. I do not want to see another 500 year. I want to see them either having a really good year where it's exciting and that we could say, yes, this team, we were wrong. This team looks like it could be a contending team. Or I want to see them fall flat on their ass and just lose, baby, lose. Because then maybe they'll start to say, you know what? We're not going to be in this at the trade deadline. Let's move some pieces and get something while we can. And I don't want to see, Eric, I don't want to see at the All-Star break,
Here we go. I know what you're talking about.
50-50 and they're 5 games out. I just don't want to see that anymore.
And you know what? And here's another thing. Does Buster Posey have the guts at the trade deadline even though you may be close, but you just ain't quite got it, are you going to trade? Are you going to trade? Sell off a piece or two here to get one of those young guys? Because, and I brought this up on the show, Dan, and this is an interesting exercise. When is the last time the Giants have traded a good prospect for a good MLB player?
Haven't.
2021. That's all I got. 2021, right? Chris Bryant gave up a decent prospect to get Chris Bryant. Right? Since then, haven't traded a prospect. When's the last time the Giants have traded a prospect for a good MLB? It hasn't. I mean, again, no, okay. How about the other way around? When's the last time the Giants have traded an MLB player, a good MLB player, for a good prospect? It hasn't been done. I can't even tell you. When's the last time the Giants traded a good MLB player for a prospect? They haven't. And when's the last time they dropped, quote unquote, the bag for a guy? I mean, I guess you got Willie Adames. I guess you count that. But they just, after that, they don't want to do anything else. And if again, it's what you're saying, Dan, they're treading water, staying right down the middle, and then you're going to be a mid-team. Wheeler from Beltran, you're talking 20. That's 2011. 2011,
14 years ago. Yeah. Robert. Listen, Robert. I love you, Robert. You know that.
Robert.
But if we listen to you, and again, if I bet my mortgage on your takes, I'd be homeless right now, Robert. You 3 years in a row, you've been crying wolf. You said, I remember in the 23 season Eric and I were on, it was our first full season, and you said they're going to run the table. And it was like 11.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
Robert. Yeah.
It's just, you got to come to grips, Robert. You got to look at this team and look at the other teams. You can't just look at the Giants and go,
you got to see what your competition's doing.
Yes. And the competition, there's a reason, Robert, that yes, I have a great memory, Robert. Yes. I just don't see this team scaring a lot of people. If you look at their lineup, how do we do their lineup? Let's see. Let's.
Oh God, I tried doing that the other night, man.
You know what? I might have it here on Fangraphs. Let me see. I think I can pull it up on
Oh,
2020.
and you look at some of these other teams, even with your own division, they've gotten better. Now, San Diego, they're about the same. Yeah, they did lose a closer in Tanner Scott, but they still got a decent bullpen. You lost Jurickson Profar, who was decent for them last year, but he's always been up and down. One year he's good, the next year he's not so good.
Right.
But you still got Machado, you still got Tatis, you still got Merrill, you still got Bogarts and Arias and Cronenworth. So you still got a decent team. Arizona, they traded for Josh Naylor. They got Corbin Burns. They got some of those young guys who are coming around. So I mean,
Cliff Martinez has put some trades out there. Arroyo, Duffy for Longoria, Duvall for Mike Leake, Luis Castillo.
Okay, that was, you're talking 2017, no, 2018, 2019. So we're getting a little bit closer. Getting a little bit closer. No, 2018, people, right? For Longoria.
I wish I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
Do a poll,
either 17 or 18.
Do you think, Eric, Evan Longoria, I'm saying, do you think Matt Chapman will finish his career as a Giant?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I see a little Evan Longoria where they trade him to a team and the Giants have to pay like $8 to $10 million of the salary each year.
He's going to have to agree to it though. That's the thing, because that no trade, man.
Yep. But I think if Melvin's gone, it might make it easier.
Maybe.
Take a look at the Giants lineup here, projected by Fangraphs. This is
they rough. Got Lamont Wade Jr. a third, batting in the 3-hole.
Yeah, this is where Melvin.
They got Fitzgerald batting in the 5-hole, and Heli Ramos in the 7.
Yeah, makes no mistake. This is where I heard. This is what Melvin's been talking about. Melvin has been talking about Adames in the 2nd hole and either Wade or Lee 1-3, and you flip them. So, and then Chapman in the 4-hole is a absolute disaster waiting to happen because he doesn't hit with runners in scoring position. He strikes out too much. Take a look at this. Okay. Jung-Hoo Lee, about an 8% strikeout rate last year. Willie Adames, 25%. Wade was like 22%. Chapman, 25%. Fitzgerald was like 33%.
Yeah, he was way up there.
Yaz was like 26%. Ramos was 25% right in there. Flores, I don't know, remember,
he didn't play enough last year.
Yeah, and Bailey's over 20%. How is this team going to score a lot of runs when 8 out of the 9 guys in the lineup strike out over 20% of the time? The Padres and the Diamondbacks led the league in scoring last year because they didn't strike out.
They don't strike out. Right.
And neither do the Dodgers as much. So this is really bad, guys. You can't have a lineup. And this is why Matos has to be in the lineup because he strikes out about 14% of the time.
He's got a great eye. Now, look, does he have to work on things? Yes, he does. Now, in Venezuela, it looks like he might have worked on some stuff. I'd say give him the chance. Look, you got Yaz. So just throw Matos out there. Give him 2 months. If he's not cutting it, you got Yaz. Just throw Yaz in there. Because Yaz doesn't start hitting it until the summer anyways. So it's a good problem because you got Mike Yastrzemski in a position where he's going to succeed, which is the bench. You could be defensive replacement. If the Giants are up, throw him out there in right field to make sure you hold those runs. Or if you need a pinch hit, a lefty, go for it. I get it. But just throw Matos out there. Come on. Just why? Why do you got to start with Yaz? That makes Matos he's going up, right?
Yeah.
Yaz is who he is, and he's probably going to start coming down. Come on.
Look what Senior says here. He says, it just moved on me here.
Talking about how old they are. Yeah.
Look at it. Even their young guys are old. Lee is 26 and a half, and Fitzgerald is over 27 and a half.
He's old. He's older.
He was a rookie last year.
I know. He was in the minor leagues for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually guys that don't make the big leagues by 25, at least a cameo appearance, they're generally not guys that have they can stick around, but they're not like, Max Muncy was like a kind of the outlier to that.
Right.
I think.
Right.
I mean, Aaron Judge was 24 when he came up. He was a little older, but he
Yes, he
beat
was.
that 25. But if you can make the big leagues and stick and become really good at 22, you're going to have a really good career.
Yes, you are.
I was thinking about this today. What happens if you did move the fences in and Bryce Eldridge hit 40 home runs starting at age 21?
That would be huge.
And he did it for, 14, 15 years, averaged like 40. The guy would hit 600 home runs in his career.
I know.
And
dude,
I just think the Giants should be looking seriously at having a strategy that says we're going to, if we don't really take off in the first half, we're going to tear this thing down at the All-Star break or at the trade deadline. And we are going to get young hitters that are really, really good. And you go out and get some of the guys I talked about, a Max Clark, a Walker Jenkins, a Kobe Mayo. And all of a sudden, you've got Eldridge and another guy, and then you have Ramos, and then maybe Luciano finds it. I don't know. But then all of a sudden, you've got young guys. I'm not ready to give up on Luciano just because he's 22. If he was 24, I'd say, ship him off. Mm-hmm. But at 22, he seems old because he's been with us since he's 16.
He's been with, Same thing with Ramos. He's been with the club for a very long time too.
Yeah, Ramos and Matos. Yeah. So let's let these guys see what they have. But the problem is, Eric, and we talked about this, they've had 2 years to let some of these guys develop at the big league level, and they just botched it. They didn't even play They didn't 100%. Play Matos last year when they could have given him. What happens if they gave him an extra 300 plate appearances last year? Where do you think he might be now?
Exactly. He got like 142 or something like last year. It's like, what are you doing?
And I get it if your outfield is stacked, if your outfield is stacked and you've got guys that, hey, we don't have room for them. But Mike Yastrzemski at 34, turning 35 in the season,
right?
A guy who's been hitting 230. I mean, Yaz is perfect fourth outfielder, a guy that gives you a day off, and he can play against right-handers, gives you great solid defense, and you can, hey, we got Yaz coming. No big deal. But every day, wow. So where are you guys? Oh, I don't know what they're talking about picking in the draft. Somebody else.
So Dan, do you think the Giants make another move? Do you think they're gonna? You think they're done? I've been saying I think they're done. I just don't see them.
I think they're probably done, but if they make a move, I just don't know if I mean, man, you got Pete Alonso sitting on a platter there for you.
You do.
He's perfect for the situation because he's only 30 and he plays first base, which you don't have. You sign him to a
that's what I was going to say. Deal. Do you think he will take now? Because it's a possibility he does the Chapman deal, the 1+1+1. Right?
Yeah.
But would he want to come to San Francisco? Because that's not going to really help him with his free agent numbers. You know, if he wants to go back to free agency.
He's hit pretty decent in Oracle. He's got 10 home runs.
He has. Yeah.
He's got a home run every 10.75 at bats at Oracle, and he has a home run every 17 at Citi Field, and he's actually hit more home runs per plate appearances at Oracle than even Cincinnati and Philadelphia.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I did not know that.
Maybe the park is playing for him. I don't know. But
he's that right-handed pull hitter, so
I don't think a right-hander is affected by Oracle that much. I really don't.
Yes, it's the same thing with Goldschmidt and Arenado, right?
Yeah,
those guys all hit in Oracle.
Yeah, I mean, Alonso gives you. Look, let's say you give him a 3 or 4 year deal, and you give him opt-outs after each year. Who cares if he gives you a productive year and he helps you make the playoffs? You move on and you got Eldridge.
Yes, correct.
And if And if he says, you know what, I kind of like it here. It's cooler in the summer. I like the city, and I'm going to stay. I'll be the DH for the next few years.
Yeah, maybe.
To me, Pete Alonso is a prototypical perfect DH, a guy that has power, that can hit to all fields, not a great defensive guy. Yeah, Alonso has 35 hits with against San Francisco with 11 home runs. Yeah, I mean, he's hit
Oh my gosh. Hold on, I gotta look
7.
this up.
He's hit 7, I believe, in 75 plate appearances in Oracle Park.
Where's Dilly? I know Dilly's got to be out there somewhere.
I just think he would be an ideal fit. I was not for him because he struck out so much.
Right.
But then I started thinking about it. I says, you know what? I'd rather have Alonso than watching Wilmer Flores or Lamont Wade. And you know what you can do? You could actually trade Yaz, and you can use Wade as your left-handed fourth outfielder. He can fill in the outfield.
Wow.
Yeah, Necron says he's a giant killer in Oracle Park. Yeah, he's done well. He's done well at Oracle.
Crap. Wow.
I just think the Giants should be really all over that. The fact that the Mets are saying 3 years, most 70
million, right?
Why not go in with 4 and 100 and just say, you know what, we'll pay you $25 a year, and you know what, we'll give you an opt-out. How about if we give you an opt-out after the second year in exchange for a 5th-year club option, that if we don't elect the option, you'll get another $10 million and you can walk.
Right. Here, I'm going to look at something. What was his AAV when he was with New York?
Hmm.
What was it? Pete Alonso. He was at 20 million. So now you bump it up another 5. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. 23 to 25. I think you just give him that 4th year.
Okay. What's up, Robbie?
YouTube user says sedentary hitters like Alonso die here. See Soler. Put Fitz at first base for the time being. I actually wanted to see the Giants play Marco Luciano at first base because I think that would have been a position that he could have learned in the offseason, and you get his bat in the lineup because he needs to play. You can't make a 22-year-old a DH, I don't think.
How about this? YouTube user also has another great comment. This is something that I've been talking about. I'd rather overpay for Bregman. Yeah.
I like Bregman too, man.
Oh, he's the same type of hitter, except he doesn't have the power, but he gives you his at-bats are incredible, man.
And he hits the ball down the line, which would be good at Oracle.
And he's got a glove.
Yep. He'd have to play second base.
Hey, buddy, we're paying you some money. Could you imagine at infield, Dan? Chapman, Adames, and then you got Bregman, and then you got Elgin. Look, if you want to talk about quote unquote mentoring people, if Bryce Eldridge comes up with the Giants next year and he's got Chapman, Adames, and Bregman in the infield to coach him up, come on. They're going to show him how to be a big leaguer, right?
Yep. That would be I think
dang,
man. Right now, the Giants, so we look back at that roster, it's just so look at the ages on here again. It's not a what do we got here? We got Jung-Hoo under 30, Willie Adames just under 30, and Fitzgerald and Ramos and Bailey. But Yaz and Chapman's going to be 32. I just like to see guys I like to see youth. I really do. I just think that the Giants it's a lineup that is, what's the best word I can come up with? It's not a good situational hitting lineup.
It's not a good, there you go. Good situational hit. I like it. That's good. Unless they figure something out with Buster Posey with a different philosophy, maybe they change their approach, so to speak. That's something that's going to be determined until games start playing, because we just knowing this because this is the same lineup that we've seen for the last couple of years, right?
Yeah,
for the exception of Jung-Hoo Lee and Willie Adames, it's kind of the same stuff that we've been seeing here for a little while.
Yeah, it's just.
And it's not a deep lineup.
No, it's not a deep lineup, and it doesn't have much depth. And
you add another bat, you add an Alonso or a Bregman, and then you're talking wild card. Look,
stretches. Yeah, you can make the lineup with the wild card with one of those two teams. You really, I think at least you'd have a shot.
At least a shot.
I think right now it's going to be tough. If you look behind me there and you see the hats.
Yeah.
The Padres and the Diamondbacks, and then in the East you got Phillies. I mean, you're getting 2 wild cards out of the East. I don't see how the Mets, Braves, and Phillies don't make the playoffs.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So that means that leaves you 1 wild card, and that's going to be you're going to have to overtake San Diego and Arizona, and possibly in the Central. You might have, whether it's the Cubs or Cincinnati.
You're going to have to, the Cubs are going to be better. The Cubs are going to be good, at least for next year. Because then,
so I don't think they have a shot to get in. I just don't.
On paper, right? On paper, because that's all we got. But when the games, when the season starts, anything can happen. We all know that, but
right. I mean, things can change, right? I mean, the key to the team is going to be what you have at the trade deadline. If you're in it, but again, I go back to, if you're in it, the Giants don't have a ton to offer. Maybe they can go, maybe Duvall's a good piece at that point, because if he's pitching well and Walker's pitching as he did last year as the closer, then maybe you could say, okay, Duvall could bring us back something. But there's not much beyond, are you going to trade, again, this goes back to, are you trading Webb? Doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trading Bailey? Probably not. Ramos? Probably not. Maybe you trade Fitzgerald. Chapman and Adames are not getting traded.
No.
Jung-Hoo Lee, maybe, if he's doing well and the Giants aren't doing that well. But I think he's going to be kind of more of a fan favorite. So
yeah.
I don't. And then if you look at their bench, Murphy, Wisely, and Carcione, McRae, or Matos.
You can't have McRae or Matos on the bench, right? They got to get at bats. Put them in second. They gotta. They can't sit.
This is why
negative Fossey. Not tonight. Not tonight, man. I don't know what else to talk about, man. Giants ain't giving me nothing. If there was a signing, if Alonso's going to another team or Bregman going to another team, then I got something to talk about. Right now, tell me what I'm going to talk about.
That's exactly right. You have to know what you can do. And the Giants are not going to get past the D-backs and Dodgers. So why not reload it? And you have a couple of pieces that we talked about, mainly this guy. And again, nothing against Logan Webb. I love the guy. But what good does Logan Webb do a team that is finishing at 500? Just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Guys, I think you got any more to add, Eric? I think we're about wrapped up.
Yeah, that's it. This is something. This is all we got, man. Right? I know it's the same stuff over and over, but that's all we got until news breaks.
Yeah, I think it might be more exciting if I put the webcam on in the backyard on Bo. Watch him eat.
Oh my God, I know, dude. And of course, the news. I saw the news. I saw it in the chat. Kirby Yates finalizing his deal with the Dodgers. That was. We already knew that.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Graham
Robert
says
for pitching opening day. Who are they playing opening day? Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, right? In Cincinnati. The first part of that schedule is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
It's
Dang.
not going to be easy.
That's going to be it. Who do you think is going to be the number 2? Do you think it's going to be Ray or Verlander?
I'll say, I'm guessing it's going to be Webb, Ray, Verlander, probably
Harrison.
Hicks. I don't get the Hicks thing.
I don't either.
I don't get it, man. Hicks and Harrison. What happened to Buster Posey saying he has trust in the youth in the arms? And all of a sudden you got one guy. You got one guy now. It's Harrison.
Yeah.
And Birdsong is on the outside looking in. What are you going to put Birdsong in the bullpen?
I just don't get that.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And that's what they need to
days. That's right. 2 weeks. 2 weeks pitchers and catchers report.
That is crazy, man. It's getting here so quick.
I know. We got to get all of the chat from Giants Sports Talk Live and NorCal Sports Network. We got to get people to come down to Arizona for a spring training game.
Dude, that would be awesome, huh?
Maybe I can arrange, and I'll see if maybe Lou can get with the tickets to the Giants. Maybe we can get 15, 20 tickets. Everybody fly down for a particular weekend, and we'll watch some Giants baseball.
That would be something.
And then we'll go out and play some ping pong. No ping pong for me.
Yeah, that could be. We could wind up having medical emergencies with that one.
Oh man, no, maybe
I will never turn down the ping pong game.
Yeah, it would be fun though. Is to go to a ball game and then go out and have some fun, get something to eat, and
the Giants are gonna have bolos on our faces, man. Be on the lookout for these guys, man.
Oh yeah,
don't allow them in the freaking park.
Watch out for drones. Taking out all of a sudden.
Oh man! Hey, where did everyone? What happened?
Hey man, you can't. Hey, you're not going to be able to keep us down, man. We're supporting you guys. We're keeping you in the news, whether it's good or bad.
Exactly. And I did that last night. And hey Dan, I said this when we started the show. If I'm excited about Buster Posey, but if I see him doing something wrong, then I'm going to come out and I'm going to say it. It's no different than what we did with Farhan. And you saw how I had the nothing like it little thumbnail yesterday, right in the middle of the show. Dude, great. It's just when I saw that Jake Lamb, it's just, you want to talk about some Farhan PTSD going on.
Yes.
Jeez, man. It's like, come on, you could do better than that.
Yeah.
Yes, a depth piece, but you already got, the Giants need another Matt. They don't need depth right now. Let's go.
Rick Montoya says no one is paying up a haul for Webb. I'll tell you what.
I think they will.
If the Giants are not in it at the trade deadline and they are willing to move Webb, they will be able to get a very high-ranked prospect. How do you think the Mets got Zach Wheeler? How?
Correct.
Because the Giants were trying to win. And they gave up their number one prospect.
And I was okay with that because they were trying to go for it. And you got to remember, Wheeler wasn't good until like 5 years after the trade.
Is this which Paul is this? I know. Is this the Paul you have on your show?
Yeah, Paul. He's in our show often.
Paul, the one was the scout.
No, that's he's just baseball. That's a different.
Okay.
Paul.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Paul Robles is he's baseball. He just goes with baseball.
No worries, Paul. Just send me your social security. I'll run a background check on you. And
get you printed.
I'm kidding. Okay. No, I might have a place down here, especially if my other place is up for sale right now and it's empty. So
there you go.
There's 2 bedrooms. There's no furniture in it, but hey,
hey, who cares? Better than sleeping outside in a tent.
That's right, man. Just so Clayton says if he gets an A on his test, his dad said he can go. Come on, Clayton, get that A.
All right, Clayton, to get an A, dude. To get an A.
Get an A, man. We'll be rooting for you. We'll be rooting for you.
Your dad. Wait, Dan said. I thought he said dad.
Oh no, he said, Dan, I can go on if he gets an A.
Oh,
in
my
his
dad. Okay,
testing."
there he says. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
That's a
there you
good
go.
dad. See, the dad's towing the line, man. Dad's
There you
towing the
go.
line. Get an A, and
Pressure's
then
on.
hey, you
Just
get something good. There you go.
easy to get an A,
There
Clayton,
you go.
if you study.
Easy.
Every time I studied, I got an A. Every time
there you go.
Every time I just said, you know what? I'm not going to study. I don't really care. I'll wing it. I can figure this out. I'll get a C, and that's good enough for me at this point in life. That was good. But when I needed to get an A, it was not difficult. I just had to put in the time.
Clayton, get that A. Trust me,
There you
you'll
go.
feel good. You'll feel good about it, man.
Yeah.
Get that
Go
work
ahead,
in, man.
Philip says trading web is something the Dodgers would do. We don't think like that. Yeah. Very true, Philip. And George says, Dan, not one top 100 prospect was traded last year at the deadline. There are not old school GMs who baseball trades anymore. Beltran, Wheeler trades on. Well, the problem, George, is nobody was offering trades of guys that were signed. They were offering guys that were free agents. That's where the game's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Teams trade guys that are going to be free agents, and nobody's giving up a top prospect for a rental. But if you got 3.5 years of Logan Webb, you can't tell me that a team that's on the cusp and that wants to win would not trade a top product, Jason Dominguez. I don't know how good he is.
Oh,
but,
the Yankees.
Yeah.
They're going to need him.
Dan should
Yankees
raffle
need him.
2 free nights at the Coach Emilio's home during spring training. There you go.
There you go.
5,000 subs. You know what? We may be offering 5,000 subs too. A black lab.
Oh, man, that's funny. Getting a little crazy, huh?
He's a good guy, but he's got one issue that's I don't know if I can deal with it, man. That's not easy. Bo, come here. Come here.
Especially when he's starting to lick your
All right.
face.
Yeah, no, he don't lick my face anymore now that I've seen what he does. That does not happen. That does not happen. I don't understand dogs that do this. Is Dan going to be at Surprise for the opener? Is that where the Giants are playing, Cliff? In Surprise? If they are, what's the schedule? Let me see. What is the Giants schedule? Let me pull it up here. I'm gonna pull the Giants schedule up right here on my
Graham,
phone.
there's no way on earth you get the Martian. Yeah, that's what they call him, right? The Martian.
Oh yeah, they're playing Texas. I will be there. Yes, you gonna be there, Cliff? Yes, first drink free. All right, I will be there, Cliff. I love that ballpark. There you go. That is one of my favorite ballparks. You know, I'm only 12 minutes from the ballpark, I think. Let me see. Maybe it's 14. Let me put in Google Maps. Surprise Stadium. Wait. Surprise Stadium.
There you go.
How far is it? Where's the minute?
I can't tell. 13 minutes.
There it is.
Right down the road.
Right down the road, baby. 13 minutes. Yeah, I'll be there. I will be there. I always go to the games close by because the games in Scottsdale are fun to go to, but they're far.
Way out there.
For me.
Yeah.
I'll go missing on the 11, 12, 13. Okay. Aaron says he'll buy dinner if we all can carpool together. There we go.
Look at that.
Are you guys all coming down? Let's do it, man.
Holy crap. That would be something.
Eric, catch a flight, man.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Southwest,
Oakland.
Yep. Or even out of Sac.
Oh, yeah. Straight shot to Phoenix out of Sac. That's right. Let's check out the Southwest flights here. Let me see. Southwest. Where's my Southwest? Oh, here we go. Southwest. What day was that? The 22nd of Feb? Ooh. 3 weeks away. That's when you get the best rates. You need 3 weeks.
Holy crap.
Book a flight. Round trip from Sac. Wait. Come on. All right. I guess I'm going to scroll through here. This is okay. From Sacramento to Phoenix. All you guys listening from Sac, here we go. Departure date.
It'd have to be the day before, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The 21st. Cheaper flights on the 20th, probably. Fridays are more expensive. Let's see. 20th. Come down. Leave on. I bet you might even be able to get a flight the same night. Wait, no. Hold on. All right. Done. Let's see what we got here. Search flights. Searching. Southwest. What's the cheapest flight? Cheapest flight's like 142 nonstop. 142. Take that one on the way back. Catch a late night flight. Oh, no late ones. But it could be done. Hey, man.
Yeah. Oakland actually might be cheaper than Sacramento.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, you know what? I always fly out of when I'm up there. I fly into Oakland, or if I'm leaving, if I'm catching a flight somewhere, I always fly out of Oakland. But that would be, guys, who's coming? So Giants play Texas. Cliff, what games are you going to? Are you going to the Cincinnati game the next day too in Scottsdale? Those are the first two games. Ooh.
Robert.
One of the players' brothers got drafted by Texas. Cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, which one was it, Robert?
Athletic.
Look at what Robert says. Don't be shocked that the Giants are in first place at the All-Star break. I don't know what you're talking about.
Robert, that's got to be Robert Rothberg, right? Don't be shocked if the Giants are in first place at the All-Star break.
Oh, fly out of Stockton. That's right down there. That's like 30 minutes away from me, man.
Robert.
Yes, turd.
Robert, you're in New York. Giants in first place at the All-Star break. I'll fly you out to a game and back on me.
That ain't happening, Robert.
First place at the All-Star break over the Dodgers? Oh, my goodness. Cliff says he'll be there Saturday the 22nd till Tuesday. I'll be at Saturday's game at Surprise and Monday in Scottsdale. Cool. Monday, they're playing. Oh, you're going to see him play Colorado. Okay. And then they've got split squad that day. Yeah. Ooh, they play Seattle the next week over here in Peoria, which is only about 16 minutes away. So I can hit. I'm in between Peoria and Surprise Stadium. Yeah, and I'm not too far from Glendale. The Dodgers play, but you probably never get a ticket to the Dodgers this year. Dang, people are just going to be flocking to them. All right, guys, we are wrapped up. Dan, our meals included. Yeah, Robert.
Man,
for you, Robert.
Can't be choosers, man.
Yeah. For you, Robert, I got fresh meals. Our meals included. Yes, we'll get you out on the red eye. It's got to be the red eye though, there and back. Cole's coming March 7th to the 10th. All right, guys. Hey, we'll figure out something. If we don't get it all together. If we don't get it figured out for spring training with everybody, we'll definitely do a get together up at Oracle. That'll be fun.
Oh, that would be freaking so much damn fun.
Yeah, we'll have
to.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Eric, when you on next? Tomorrow night?
Yeah, I should go on tomorrow night. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Hopefully there's some news, man. It's getting scraping,
discount.
man.
Yeah, hopefully. Wouldn't it be great if they just did something?
That would be
Cliff
nice.
says, I'll be staying in North Scottsdale, Lou Melody. Oh, if you can make it. Free treat or drink, Dan. Okay. All right. There we go. Cliff. Definitely hang out.
Nice,
Hopefully this year it works out better for you. I know last year you had a tragic situation that happened. So, man, I hope that everything's going well for you. All right, guys. Eric, tomorrow night, he'll be on Giants Sports Talk Live. We'll be on maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll be doing this bouncing back and forth. We take a night off. You take it. I don't know. There's not much going on right now.
I know, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, make sure you give our show and Eric's show a like, man. This is not easy coming up with content creation, man. We're pulling stuff out of our you-know-what right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're trying
100%.
hard to come up with content to bring to you guys so you have, something you got some Giants stuff to talk about in the off season. Nobody else is taking the time to do this. I can tell you that for sure.
Nope.
So, all right. So catch Eric tomorrow night. Eric and Glenn is Glenn going to be back or
he should be. He's not feeling well. So
okay.
He may be here tomorrow. If not, then he'll be back the next day. That's fine.
Okay. Hopefully he feels better. Hopefully, guys, check out Eric, Giant Sports Talk Live. Make sure you give our show a like and subscribe if you're watching on Twitter. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you when I can find the song here. Where the heck did it go? There it is. Nope. What happened to it? Jeez. I don't know what things are moving out of the space. There it is. All right. Great ending. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow or whenever.
You guys have a great rest of your night. Woo!
Happy birthday, Robert Rosberg!